I'm going to prove that most of the goal-setting advice you've heard is completely wrong. You've probably been told to set SMART goals, make a vision board, or write down your objectives on sticky notes. But despite following these steps, you still find yourself struggling to achieve what you want. The truth is, traditional goal-setting methods often fail because they're based on flawed assumptions. One major issue is that goals are usually too vague. For example, I want to be healthier is a goal that doesn't give you a clear direction. Without specifics, it's hard to create an actionable plan. Another problem is that goals can be too big. When you set a massive goal, like, I'm going to run a marathon, it can feel overwhelming. This leads to procrastination and, eventually, giving up. A more effective approach would be to break it down into smaller, manageable tasks, like running a certain number of miles each week. Goals that aren't aligned with your values are also doomed to fail. If you set a goal just because you think you should, rather than because it genuinely matters to you, you won't have the motivation to see it through. And then there's the issue of focusing solely on outcomes without considering the process. For instance, if your goal is to get a promotion, but you're not putting in the effort to develop the necessary skills, you're unlikely to succeed. The problem with traditional goal-setting methods is that they often overlook the importance of process-oriented goals. Instead of just focusing on the end result, you need to build habits and systems that support your goals. This is where alternative strategies come in. You might have heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. While these are a good foundation, there's more to goal setting than just making sure your goals are SMART. Process-oriented goals, on the other hand, focus on the daily actions you need to take to achieve your objectives. For example, instead of saying, I want to write a book, you could say, I'm going to write 500 words every morning. This approach helps you build habits and make progress towards your goals, even when motivation is low. Habit stacking is another powerful strategy. This involves taking an existing habit and stacking a new one on top of it. For instance, if you always make a cup of coffee in the morning, you could stack a new habit, like meditating for 10 minutes, onto that existing routine. Understanding your why is also crucial. If you're not clear on why you want a particular goal, you'll struggle to stay motivated. Your why is the reason behind your goal, the purpose that drives you. When you connect with your why, you'll find it easier to take action, even when it's hard. The real secret to achieving goals isn't just setting them, but building systems and habits that make success almost inevitable. My top tip is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. This means building habits and routines that support your goals, rather than just focusing on the end result. Another game-changing tip is to be flexible. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go as planned. Instead of giving up when you encounter setbacks, be willing to adjust your approach. This might mean pivoting to a new strategy or simply taking a break and coming back to your goal later. To sum it up, traditional goal-setting methods often fail because they're too focused on outcomes and not enough on the process. To achieve your goals, you need to ditch vague outcome goals and instead focus on building habits and systems that support your objectives. Understand your why. Be flexible. And remember that success isn't about willpower, but about smart strategy. If you're struggling with goal setting or have had success with alternative strategies, Share your story in the comments below. Subscribe for more productivity and self-improvement tips. And if you want to learn more about habit-building techniques, watch this next video for my favorite methods.